Hello everybody, and we continue talking about open centers, not self behaviors in our open centers. Just a short reminder, when you look at your body graph, when you look at your chart, which you can also make online based on your exact date of birth and your time of birth, you can see which centers are open, which means in these places you are conditioned by the environment and people, and which centers are fixed. I would like to also say that it's actually impossible to do this research by yourself. You have to take a reading where somebody will guide you through your open centers, your not self behaviors, and that will help you observe, experiment, and so that you start living the parts that you truly are, your true self, and you will just keep observing the not self behaviors that will keep appearing as they do, because we are not gonna get rid of them, we are not gonna get anything fixed, but we just learn to observe. Okay, this is my not self. I can experiment, so I know what happens when I follow that, and I know what happens when I don't exactly follow that. But first I need to be able to observe. In order to observe, you can just look at it in your body graph, look at the not self strategies of your open centers. And today the open center that we are going to look at is actually G, or the self, that is like a diamond in the center of your body graph, colored yellow if it's fixed and no color if it's open, and it corresponds to you knowing and feeling who you are, having that personality fixed, or having your personality changing with the time in different situations, and particularly in different places. So there are people who live in one country and they work in a factory, and then they move to another country or city and they become language teachers, and then they can learn how to cook and discover that that's what they want to do right now. People with openG centers usually hear this kind of questions: who you really are, what kind of job, what profession is really yours, because they can change that during the life without actually making a very serious conscious decision. It just happens to them. They discover in different places, they discover different parts of themselves and naturally become something else. So I do believe if people with openG, same like me, I do have openG, if people with openG really know this topic of the not self of the openG, we will have less confusion, definitely, because openG wants to be fixed. It wants to fixed in which way? Like, it wants to be, because it feels like it's different from others, very changeable, can take different forms, can have different faces. It feels, looking at others, oh, why can't I be like that person, always just in a certain mode and not as changeable as me? I want to be that kind of self. I do believe that we have a lot of psychological treatments and therapies that are coming from this issue of people with openG trying to fix that. You can't fix that. You can experiment with it, you can observe it, you can realize that it is one of the biggest blessings. You can accept it. That's you. Me having an openG, I can say that I do find and discover different parts of me in different places of the world. When I was born, when I was like 10 already, I was already confidently saying to my family that I'm not going to be here. Like, I don't feel this is my place, and I don't know where is my place, but I wanted to feel myself in all the other places, discover them, and somehow I had this feeling that the place matters. I remember growing up and hearing from people who say, oh no, it absolutely doesn't matter the place, you can be whatever you are and you can achieve whatever you want in the place where you are. That is not true for me. So when I'm in different places, and if that place is right, I am presented with the correct opportunities, I meet the right people. It was so interesting, the city where I was born, when I was like 18, 19, 20, like things stopped happening with me. I wasn't dating anybody. Like, I simply felt, even I would say, that I'm invisible. I was so surprised, like, seeing that, you know, things just don't happen with me, and I feel this is the wrong place. Like, I actually, without any human design, I felt that life is not happening with me here. And then I have been in other places, and it just happened, like, okay, I moved, and then, you know, I suddenly got a job. I wasn't any better in this place than I was in the previous, and I met certain people and things started happening. So with people who have openG, I like to tell you, yes, the place is really important for you, and you can meet right people in those places. If the place is wrong for you, most probably you will not be meeting the right people, you will be meeting the wrong people. What is important for openG to realize is that don't try to be like somebody else. The thing is, it's so easy for us to be like others because we have this place open that is kind of self, that is like, let me say, like a Shiva, yeah? Many ways to express ourselves, many faces, many ways to be. We don't even notice how we adjust and how we change in the presence of others. So, for example, when I was a teenager, if I am with people who are intellectuals, who like to look smart, who like to, you know, show that they study well, and I was also in a part that kind of child, I immediately had that smart look, and I was just like those kids when I was around them. When I was around a crowd that was more like hippie-ish and more like a free vibe, you know, like Bob Marley style, I was naturally blending in, and people thought that I am exactly like this. So if you see me in 2-3 different environments, it's almost like I have different personalities. And at some point when you're younger, you think like you have to fix yourself, like you have to be that way. And then when you try to fix yourself and you try to be that way, you soon discover that that's not exactly 100% who you are. And the same when we are dating people, when we are meeting people. The interesting thing, because we reflect, we adjust, and somehow we bring out that part of our personality that is so similar as the people we meet. The people think, oh, she's exactly like me, I'm so comfortable with her. Much do they know that a bit later in relationship we will still discover that even if I can reflect, even if I can adjust and adapt, I'm not really like that. I'm quite different. I am not exactly the same as you are. And when you're taking your personality back, and when you're showing the other person that you have also this face and this face and this face, they're quite in shock. So I think that creates a lot of this desire and pressure to fix yourself in a certain way. I do really strongly believe if people with open center come to realize that this is the part of them that will always be changeable, that it's always naturally adjusting and adapting in the presence of other people, there will be a lot of realizations there. and there will be no desire to fix it, to cure it, to improve it, or to fill the void.